So let's do some magic. Venus Pluto, it is Jupiter, our 22-degree Scorpio ascendant. And so, this is a great time to do some magic for the Venus Pluto, especially around anything to do with religion, femicide, and we're gonna use the power of the voice and intention. And so, any attempt to make of women controlled by cult, by religion, by sexuality, controlling their behavior by using rape and sexual assaults, astral or not, psychological attacks, any religious persecution of women, whether they're religious or atheist, any forced marriage, forced connections, fraud, financial violence towards women, hidden or visible, backfire, any religious leaders, gurus, teachers that misuse the power, whether by teaching and indoctrinating, whether by misusing the touch, any blame toward women, whether they're wearing, not wearing, any attempts to make them to cover themselves, to not walk around, to hide their femininity, or to be exposing, to enforced exposure. All of this backfire. All the wealth confiscated from women through all these measures, invested in oil, invested in gas, invested in hidden science, occultistic, all of it is confiscated and transferred to the women. All forced marriages, forced sex, forced partnerships, forced signatures on contracts are revoked, and the wealth is returned, purified to the victims. All attempts to infiltrate nervous system, alter identity, alter voice, take away the voice, try to control for the voice, for the expression, for the validity, for people to be believed, for the testimonials, backfires, and all the wealth created from those measures returns rejuvenated, purified to the victims in any which way, hidden and visible, juristic or not. All attempts to do femicide, all attempts to blame women in their own rape, all attempts to blame women for doing witchcraft when the witchcraft was done on them and they did return to sender. Backfire, and death ensues to the murderers. Murder of the soul, back to sender. All attempts to direct the center of gravity. I use gravity waves against the women, or even by women to control other women. All attempts to do work for both for the light and the dark, and to play on that doubling to get the person trapped, enslaved in repetitive cycles of abuse and triangulation. Backfire. All attempts to breach energy, bodily, energetically, ethereally. Backfire. All attempts to infuse energy in talismans that would confiscate the wealth and housing and the sexual well-being of women under any religious or atheistic gain or thought. Backfire. All work in talismans against the women, trying to confiscate their wealth, trying to control their behavior, to hide themselves, to control for the sexuality. And any religious guys, backfire. All political wealth, investment gains, backfire, and the wealth is confiscated and brought to the victims. All attempts to use the real estate as sex trafficking hub and to cause damage to both the women and the soul and their name, and to block their happiness and to block the ability to have healthy, happy, safe relationships, abundance, housing. Backfire, and all the wealth gained is confiscated from those who did that and brought to these women. All attempts to blame women for triangulation that men did, for horror and torture that they've been through, to be put them into sex espionage and call them cheaters, call them whores, call them this, and try to think that there's some karma that they are entitled to. No, they backfire. And all women who participated in this must correct their ways, or they're gonna get this backfire. All men involved in perpetuating harm in the shape of women and trying to pit women against the other. So to make a woman think it was a single white woman, backfire. And that single white woman that was actually tortured and be made to be making other sex espionage or try to think of channeling of her business and was fooled in this way, all the wealth goes back to her, all creative powers back to her. So tough. All infiltrations of this video, they backfire. Always you can hear that voice say, Kusama, Kusamak, okay? That is a curse. That is somebody that the backfire is on them and they say Amma. And that person is exposed, and all the wealth and all their attempts to sexually assault me backfire, and all the wealth, everything they try to take from me, I get 7 times more riches, more joy, more benefic fame, more sexual empowerment, more wealth, more well-being. Less fun, guy. Well, I see a lot of forces involved in that. All of it backfires. All injustices created to women using occultism to try to frame them in a certain way. Frame their voices, their testimonies, or the inability to give a testimony, or to have healthy relationships. They all backfire.